All praises to the Most High, and unto his Son belongs power, riches, wisdom, strength, honor, glory, and blessing. All right, so today I'm going to be reading an excerpt from the Testaments of the 12 patriarchs. All right. Wait a minute. So this is actually from Google Books. And this is a translation. Not sure when it was translated, but I know it's an R.H. Charles version of the translation. Let me see if I can show you that. Yeah, let's see. All right, yeah, R.H. Charles. I know he's I have a couple books that were translated by of ancient texts that were translated by R.H. Charles. I think his translations are pretty good. So I'm going to start with Rueben today. I think every young man needs to know these things and have their father, if they have a father, to speak these things into them. And if they happen to be part of the population that doesn't have a father, to speak these things, this testament, the Rueben Testament, would be a great, what's the word? Great instruction. Make it simple, right? So, just going to start. The Testaments of the 12 patriarchs. The Testament of Reuben, the firstborn son of Yaakov, Jacob, and Leah. Okay. So, introduction, Reuben's confession and repentance. The copy of the Testament of Reuben, even the commands which he gave his sons before he died in the 125th year of his life. 2 years after the death of Joseph, his brother, when Reuben fell ill, his sons and his sons' sons were gathered together to visit him. And he said to them, "My children, behold, I am dying, and go the way of my fathers." And seeing there Judah, Gad, Asher, his brethren, he said to them, "Raise me up, that I might tell my brethren and to my children what things I have hidden in my heart. For behold, now at length I am passing away." And he rose and kissed them, and said unto them, "Hear, my brethren, and do ye, my children, give ear to Reuben your father, in the commands which I give you. And behold, I call to witness against you this day the God of heaven, that ye walk not in the ignorance of youth and fornication, wherein I was poured out and defiled the bed of my father Jacob. And I tell you that he smote me with sore plague in my loins for 7 months. And had not my father Jacob prayed for me, the Lord would have destroyed me. All right, that's it. For I was 30 years old when I wrought the evil thing before the Lord. And for 7 months I was sick unto death. And after this I repented with set purpose of my soul for 7 years before the Lord. And wine and strong drink I drank not, and flesh entered not into my mouth. And I ate no pleasant food, but I mourned over my sin, for it was great, such as had not been in Israel. All right, so the 7 spirits of deceit. And now hear me, my children, what things I saw concerning the 7 spirits of deceit. When I repented, 7 spirits therefore are appointed against man, and they are the leaders in the works of youth. And 7 other spirits are given to him at creation, that through them should be done every work of man. The first is the spirit of life, which the constitution of man is created. The second is the sense of sight, with which arises desire. The third is the sense of hearing, with which cometh teaching. The fourth is the sense of smell, with which tastes are given to draw air and breath. The fifth is the power of speech, with which cometh knowledge. The sixth is the sense of taste, with which cometh the eating of the meats and drinks. And by it strength is produced, for in food is the foundation of strength. The seventh is the power of procreation and sexual intercourse, with which through love of pleasure sin enters in. Wherefore it is the last in order of creation, and the first in that of youth, because it is filled with ignorance, and leadeth the youth as a blind man to a pit, and as a beast to a precipice, which is like a cliff. Okay. Besides all these, there is an eighth spirit of sleep, with which is brought about the trance of nature and the image of death. With these spirits are mingled the spirits of error. First, the spirit of fornication is seated in the nature and in the senses. The second, the spirit of insatiableness in the belly. The third, the spirit of fighting in the liver and gall. The fourth is the spirit of, obsequiousness and chicanery. I gotta look up that first word. That through officious attention one might be fair in seeming. All right. That's gonna take some time to look at that one. The fifth is the spirit of pride, that one may be boastful and ignorant. The sixth is the spirit of lying and perdition and jealousy, to practice deceits and concealments from kindred and friends. The seventh is the spirit of injustice, with which are thefts and acts of rapacity, that a man may fulfill the desires of his heart. For injustice worketh together with the other spirits by the taking of gifts. And with all these the spirit of sleep is joined, which is that of error and fantasy. And so perisheth every young man, darkening his mind from the truth, and not understanding the law of God, nor obeying the admonitions of his fathers, as befell me in my youth. All right, so here's Reuben's sin. And now, my children, love the truth, and it will preserve you. Hear ye the words of Reuben your father. Pay no heed to the face of a woman, nor associate with another man's wife, nor meddle with the affairs of womankind. For had I not seen Bilhah bathing in a covered place, I had not fallen into this great iniquity. For my mind, taken in the thought of a woman's nakedness, suffered me not to sleep until I had wrought the abominable thing. For while Jacob, our father, had gone to Isaac, his father, when we were in Eder, near the Ephrath in Bethlehem, Bilhah became drunk and was asleep, uncovered in her chamber. Having therefore gone in and beheld her nakedness, I wrought the impiety without her perceiving it. And leaving her sleeping, I departed, and forthwith an angel of God revealed to my father concerning my impiety. And he came and mourned over me, and touched her no more. The Testament, a warning against sin. So, pay no heed, therefore, my children, to the beauty of a woman, nor set your mind on their affairs, but walk in singleness of heart in the fear of the Lord. and expend labor on good works, and on study, and on your flocks, until the Lord give you a wife, whom he will, that ye suffer not as I did. For until my father's death, I had not boldness to look in his face, nor speak to any of my brethren because of the reproach, even until my conscience causes me anguish on the account of my impiety. And yet my father comforted me much, and prayed for me unto the Lord, that the anger of the Lord might pass from me, even as the Lord showed. And thenceforth until now, I have been on my guard and sinned not. Therefore, my children, I say unto you, observe all these things, whatsoever I command you, and ye shall not sin. For a pit is unto the soul, is the sin of fornication, separating it from God, and bringing it near to idols, because it deceiveth the mind and understanding, and leadeth down young men into Hades before their time. All right. Hades is also known as hell, as Sheol or death, the grave. For many have fornication destroyed, because though a man be old or noble, or rich or poor, he bringeth reproach upon himself with the sons of men, and derision with Belial, right, representing evil. For hear ye regarding Joseph, how he guarded himself from a woman, and purged his thoughts from all fornication, and found favor in the sight of God and men. For the Egyptian woman did many things unto him, summoned magicians, and offered him love potions, but the purpose of his soul admitted no evil desire. Therefore, the God of your fathers delivered him from every evil and hidden death. For if fornication overcomes not your mind, neither can Belial overcome you. Belial representing evil, the devil. All right. Al-Hasatan. For evil are women, my children, and since they have no power or strength over man, they use wiles by outward attractions, that they may draw him to themselves. And whom they cannot bewitch by outward attractions, they overcome with craft. For moreover, concerning them, the angel of the Lord told me and taught me that women are overcome by the spirit of fornication, more than men, and in their heart they plot against men, and by means of their adornment they perceive first their minds by the glance of the eye, instill the poison, and then through the accomplished act they take them captive. A woman cannot force a man openly, but by a harlot's bearing she beguiles him. Flee therefore fornication, my children, and command your wives and your daughters that they adorn not their heads and faces to deceive the man, because every woman who uses these wiles has been reserved for eternal punishment. For thus they allureth the watchers who were before the flood. For as these continually beheld them, they lusted after them, and they conceived the act in their mind. For they changed themselves into the shape of men, and appeared to them when they were with their husbands. And the women lusted in their minds after their forms, and gave birth to giants, for the watchers appeared to them as reaching even unto heaven. Now, he's saying right here that through the beautifying of the eyelids and makeup, these women use those wiles to even pull the sons of heaven, the watchers, right? Pull them, and then we ended up with the giants of Genesis 6, right? Anyway, beware. If you want to read more about that, you can read the book of Enoch, and you can read the few lines that are in Genesis that come on after Genesis 6. But you get way more detail if you read the book of Enoch, the first book only. Beware, therefore, of fornication. And if you wish to be pure in mind, guard your senses from every woman, and command the women likewise not to associate with men, that they also may be pure in mind. For constant meetings, even though the ungodly deed be not wrought, are to them an irremediable disease, and to us a destruction of Beliar and eternal reproach. For in fornication there is neither understanding nor godliness, and all jealousy dwell in the lust thereof. Right? So an exhortation to obey Levi, in whom is vested a royal priesthood, right? So he's talking about the Levites, right? Therefore, then I say unto you, ye will be jealous against the sons of Levi. And he's talking to his sons, right? So ye will be jealous against the sons of Levi, and will seek to be exalted over them, but ye will not be able to, for God will avenge them, and ye shall die by an evil death. For to Levi God gave the sovereignty, and to Judah and with him, and to me also, and to Dan and Joseph, that we should be rulers. Therefore I command you to hearken to Levi, because he shall know the law of the Lord, and shall give ordinances for judgments, and shall sacrifice for all Israel unto the consummation of times, as the anointed high priest, of whom the Lord spake. And I adjure you by the God of heaven to do truth, each one unto his neighbor. By the way, when you hear truth, that means the law. That means the Torah. That means the commandments. That means the ways of the Most High. So listen up. I adjure you by the God of heaven to do truth, each one unto his neighbor, to entertain love, each for his brother, and to draw ye near to Levi in humbleness of heart, that ye may receive a blessing from his mouth. For he shall bless Israel and Judah, because he have the Lord chosen to be king over all the nation. And bow down before his seed, for on behalf of it will die in many wars, visible and invisible, and will be among you an eternal king. That's pretty deep right there, by the way. Right? When you think about what is said in Hebrews concerning the order of Melchizedek, which is a different order than, which is the eternal order, right? In the Shemaim, to which are Messiah, Jesus, also known as, whom the Christians refer to as Jesus Christ, the King of Kings, is our eternal high priest in the order of Melchizedek, right? But this man is saying also that the order of the Levites are eternal as well. So that would probably have to be on the earth, by the way. So that's just a side note. On the eternal earth, when the earth is renewed in the age to come, that is. Right? Because there's going to be a new heaven and new earth. All right. Anyway, not to be distracted. So Reuben's death and burial. And Reuben died, having given these commands to his sons. And they placed him in a coffin until they carried him up from Egypt and buried him in Hebron in the cave where his father was. All right. And I think that's it for Rueben. All right. And I think there's pertinent topics that, admonitions and admonishments that he gave to his sons. And I think every young man should know these things, and even women as well. Young women should know those things as well, especially when he's talking about the lust of the eyes and what he described in terms of the power of women to allure with the makeup, and they were able to even attract the watchers, the sons of heaven, the sons of God. Nevertheless, all praises to the Most High.